Good morning, I'm Craig Negrelli. It's Monday, December 2nd, 2024, and these are your Unbiased Updates. Saying it is clear that his son was treated differently and singled out by the justice system, President Biden pardons his son of his felony convictions. More from his statement and reaction. And let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Winter comes on the first weekend in December for Western New York. The whopping totals as the lake effect snow pounds the area.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world, these are today's Unbiased Updates.
This morning, a reaction is coming in after President Biden's decision late Sunday night to pardon his son Hunter. With his time in office ending in a matter of weeks, the president reversing previous statements he made when he said he would not use his power to keep his son from facing prison time due to felony convictions. Hunter faced sentencing later this month related to two separate criminal cases. Last September, he pleaded guilty to 9 tax charges. Last June, a jury found him guilty of lying on a gun purchase form. Hunter faced up to 17 years in prison for the tax charges and 25 years in the gun case. The president says he decided to issue the pardon because he believes his son was, quote, selectively and unfairly prosecuted, and that the prosecution of his arrest led to, quote, a miscarriage of justice. President Biden says the charges in his son's cases came to be after several of his, quote, political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack the president and oppose his election. The president's move is a reversal from last month when White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said there would be no pardon, and this past summer when President Biden said the same thing at another press briefing and during an interview with ABC News.
But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
You have.
Hunter Biden issued his own statement on Sunday saying, in part, he has admitted and taken responsibility for mistakes he made during his addiction, adding, quote, I will never take the clemency I have been given today for granted and will devote the life I have rebuilt to helping those who are still sick and suffering. President-elect Donald Trump also issuing a statement on his Truth Social platform, asking if Biden's pardon also includes those arrested in connection with the January 6th riots. Donald Trump using President Biden's own words, saying this is, quote, a miscarriage of justice. President Biden's pardon covers any potential federal crimes that Hunter committed from January 1st of 2014 through December 1st of 2024, which includes his time on the board of Ukrainian gas company Burisma. He faced criticism for his foreign business transactions and a lofty salary, despite having a lack of energy experience. This official grant of clemency cannot be rescinded by President-elect Trump. Canadian officials are now stepping up security at the country's border with the United States after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau met with President-elect Donald Trump in Florida for dinner on Friday. That's according to a top Canadian government official who was there for the talks. Donald Trump announced last week he would levy 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico if they did not stop undocumented immigrants and drugs from crossing their respective borders into the U.S. Canada's ambassador to the U.S. says Trudeau was successful in getting the president-elect to understand that lumping the flow of migrants and drugs into the U.S. from Canada with those from Mexico is unfair. Still, Trudeau has promised to increase northern border security in, quote, a visible and muscular way. After their meeting, Donald Trump posted on social media that it was productive, and Trudeau has, quote, made a commitment to work with us. Cold temperatures are sweeping across a large part of the United States, combining with record warm temperatures in the Great Lakes, and that equals lake effect snow, and lots of it. Some parts of the Northeast received a few feet of snow. It is not expected to stop until Wednesday, with up to 2 feet or more feet of snow expected to blanket the area through tomorrow. More than 2 feet of snow was on the ground when the Buffalo Bills put out a call on Sunday for fans to volunteer to shovel snow ahead of their Sunday night game against the San Francisco 49ers. There was an online sign-up sheet over the weekend, and lots of people turned out for $20 an hour, warm refreshments, and a ticket to the game. There is a state of emergency in effect this morning in parts of New York State. Meantime, millions of people are under winter weather warnings. The cold is expected to last well into this week, with nearly 70% of the continental U.S. set to feel temperatures below freezing. Some cities like New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Minneapolis, and Cincinnati will experience below-average temperatures for the entire week. Did you see this? A college football rivalry game over the weekend ended with both teams fined $100,000 each. The Big Ten issued the fines on Sunday against Michigan and Ohio State due to a post-game brawl between players after the game that saw police officers using pepper spray to break up that big fight. It began after players from Michigan planted their flag in midfield at the so-called Horseshoe. That's Ohio State Stadium, following the Wolverines' 13-10 upset victory over the number 2 Buckeyes. After 5 minutes, the melee ended with some players and coaches bloodied. The Big Ten said both teams violated the league's sportsmanship policy, you think, but does not plan to suspend any player for that incident. As shoppers seek Cyber Monday deals today, just a few days ago, Black Friday saw record spending in the United States, but many shoppers chose to forego the mall crowds, instead opting to buy online. Shoppers spent a record $10.8 billion online Friday. That's according to Adobe Analytics. That's over 10% or $1 billion more than they did last year, and more than double what consumers spent in 2017. Adobe said online shoppers shelled out roughly $11.3 million per minute between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Friday. Friday's in-store shopper traffic was down more than 8% compared to 2023. That's according to Sensormatic Solutions, which tracks retail store foot traffic. Finally this morning, it seems getting full of turkey and stuffing was not the only plan for Americans over the holiday weekend, because many also went to the movies to see the latest from Disney. Moana 2 broke a Thanksgiving box office record. The animated sequel took in $221 million over the 5-day holiday period from Wednesday through Sunday. This topped Frozen 2's Thanksgiving earnings of $125 million in 2019. Moana 2 also overtook last year's The Super Mario Bros. Movie to have the biggest 5-day debut in history. Together with blockbusters Wicked and Gladiator 2, the 3 films brought in $420 million, now the highest grossing Thanksgiving weekend ever at the box office. That is great to see. Remember when COVID was around and movie theaters were vacant? What a far cry. Those are your unbiased updates for this Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great day.